So I'll be presiding in his place. I don't, huh?
Kelly's second chair.
Yes. As far as the agenda for tonight, not a lot changed from last week. On the local laws, local law D by Mr. Flynn is going to be an introduction, and that will be held, and then it can come up for a vote at the next meeting. You'll find that all over the place, Jack.
Are there other people who are here tonight?
Oh, I'm not, the only people I know about are Michael and Jenny. Yeah. Jenny had an issue, a reaction to something, so. Otherwise, and then we know Luce is going to be here later. I know Corey won't be here, otherwise I don't know about the other folks.
Can't break a tie now.
Huh? Okay.
You'll have to break the tie.
So the commissioner is going to.
So local law D, that's just going to be an introduction held, and then it can be voted on at the next meeting. On the local laws held, I don't have any action on those. I think there's a finance committee in the works, or has that been scheduled for local law C.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a finance committee meeting.
On Monday.
On Monday. That will take up local law C, but that's not for tonight. On the ordinances held, I don't have any actions. I just want to note on, you have Mr. Hoey's here twice, so you're just saying.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah, okay. On the new resolutions, 62 by Mr. Anani related to e-bikes. We had that as a pass for tonight. Any further discussion on that? 63 by myself is a rules amendment, and that's going to be referred to the Council Operations Committee. I believe we have a meeting scheduled on that for next week. And then we had one MC, I know that was sent out,
For love.
number 64. Whose is this? This is Joyce?
Yep.
This is yours, right? Recognizing Gertrude Love Weinblood. That would be a pass. Is she here tonight? Is there a presentation, or you just wanted to pass?
No, something might show up.
But let's pass in the regular order. Okay. All right, any questions on that? Do you want to say anything about it, or everyone's fine?
That's a great, that was the sponsor, yeah?
Sarah mistakenly put that.
Oh.
Okay.
It's just loves.
Okay. So there'll be a motion to add that by majority consent, and then we'll move for passage on it. Okay, on, huh?
She said Sarah rang a bell about Sarah Curry Cobb.
No. On the resolutions held, item number 1 by Ms. Fahey is 396118. That's the one related to community choice aggregation, and the planning committee met on that last week and moved it out with amendment. You want to?
Yes, one of the things we found is that there are several municipalities that have already agreed to that first step, which is to contract with an administrator and the contract says I'm going to explore community choice aggregation. So it's not they're not a definite sign on, but there's been enough communities, it's Town of Albany, Saratoga Springs, and one other. And so they'll have the 40,000 households accounts that they need in order to create the aggregate. So they are going to go ahead probably sometime late this fall. So what we did was we added an amendment to the resolution asking the mayor to interview administrators. There's 3 administrative organizations by November 1st. So they can, so that if we do have the opportunity to join this aggregate. And remember, nothing is final until much further down the line when find out exactly what the costs are going to be. So this is still all exploratory right through this point. And again, this is only a resolution requesting the mayor to pursue this idea of a community choice aggregate. So that's the only addition to the resolution.
So you're saying we can squash it down the road?
That way down the line, yes, if we don't feel that this is going to benefit Albany residents, you know, as a local law would have to be passed. So.
So there's nothing binding here, it's just advisory,
Correct.
and then any binding action would come back to us via a local law.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any questions on this? No. Okay. The other resolution,
And I'll pass around some other information.
Okay.
about this. I know people received this before, but I know how things get lost.
the other resolution is item 6, which is the rewards program related to dirt bikes and ATVs that came out of public safety. That will come up for a vote tonight. And then the final one I have is number 8, which is not
Seven,
coming
yeah,
up.
just let them know,
Seven,
seven,
okay.
seven I'm just withdrawn, it's too damn late, they didn't give us the opportunity,
Okay.
or,
So do you want to do a motion to withdraw?
yes.
On item 8 is the one related to Albany Empire, which I believe we're going to hold. And that's being held because we want to do a presentation, and they're not available for tonight, and hopefully they'll be at the, I don't know, Jack, you're coordinating that, so at a future meeting when they're available, we'll pass it and do the presentation that night. And that was all I believe we had on the agenda for tonight. Were there any other?
No, I just like to let people know about, okay, Frank McCluskey, the man who bought the property on South Allen Street, was going to develop it, and he was a minority investor in it. He called me the other night and said he is going to buy a piece of land on Crumpkill Road. And that was a project that 12 years ago. It was very controversial, and it was shot down. He's going to come up with 2 10 or 12-story buildings, and it looked like Turning Stone Resort, really, or casino. But right now, he told me that Chris Spencer told him he has to get a zoning change for this now. This is one more time where the USDO is supposed to be put in place where the developers could come in, look at it, see what you can develop. Now, he tells me he's going to go for a zoning change. Hasn't really gone in front of the plan yet, but...
You want to tell them what it's on for now?
Pardon me?
You want to tell them what it's on for now?
Hey, so, during us passing the whole USDO, I talked to Chris Spencer, and he made it like everything else around there, single-family homes. And now he's proposing at least 3 stories. And then I'm afraid, 3 stories might not be bad, but you got to see the valley and what has to work there. But then I'm afraid if you give them 3 stories like New Scotland Avenue was zoned for, okay, then the BZA could come up and give them a variance for 2 more floors on top of that. So I'm not.
But if it's an actual zone change, that would have to come before
Yes,
us.
yes. For once, I have a little say in it.
A lot of
Pump station
no.
there, the Woodville pump, which pumps all the sewage, it has a stop water. You're not supposed to add any more, so.
There's a lot.
of problems. It's like around the border of mine ward.
You know what? For this guy, I didn't want to get involved with it because then people are going to say that I'm meeting with the developer. But you know what? For the guy's sake, he should follow up on the last seeker and everything else because he's buying a piece of land like on New Scotland that he didn't know what to do with, so he sold it. You know, but so that's half the reason I'm letting this other thing go too. Besides not having the votes and it was too late. You know.
All right. Anything else? Other issues. On the Research Council, we have, and it's still open, 4 resumes that came in, whatever. But I do want to begin to do the interviews or get ready for that. So, the interview committee, I'd like to keep it at 5, would include Corey can sit in on it, Kelly and myself, and then some additional members. So if you're interested, I would like to have Judy because she's good on the legal stuff. Joyce, if you'd like to. So I'd like to, if you're interested, let me know, so I can begin to try to put that together. I don't have, there's no schedule at this point, and need people, hopefully, flexibility, because we like to do these in one day and try to get them done, but nothing is scheduled yet. We're still
Does
getting
Brandon have
applications in.
Any experience, really, or much experience? other than
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I've really looked at closely, I haven't scanned them quickly. There's varying degrees, but, we'll,
So pretty soon to be getting the
One
results
of
on the
them's
bar
not
exam.
admitted.
And I sent
How many resumes?
the resumes for the PEG
Four
access.
resumes, one of them's
Yeah, we
not
had two.
admitted yet.
No.
Because
I
the,
added
it's
more.
for
We have four.
the bar,
okay.
the bar.
And one new person,
Right,
so from
they come out in
recreation
December or something,
department.
so then you might have a whole load, but we want something with more experience, I would think, that's why.
Streetlights that are going up, do we have?
So I'm sorry, say that again?
The streetlights that are going up, the LEDs?
Some of them are have
Yeah,
been going up.
how they
Kathy,
go
you
up.
can update on the schedule for the streetlights?
The schedule? Like,
Well, I sent out, they're gonna be sending out
That's good.
every 2 weeks and so people know if it's coming into their
A
ward.
couple days ago.
Yep, sent something. And
I forwarded.
there were also, as far as, there may be areas in your ward where it needs streetlights, where there's none currently. So make a list and send them to,
So they have been going up. I know I had some in mine, and I know Lewis had some in his, and so there is a schedule, and then we'll
Do
get
do
that.
you know? No, make sure.
So, because there's instances I found where the street lights that's been put up is not enough. Like one side of the street will be lit up, and you can tell, see that the other side of the street is noticeably darker.
oh, okay.
So in that case,
Yeah, I
do
would
we-
bring that to Chris Spencer's attention.
Okay.
My concern is, I've had street poles down 6 months when we're still on the National Grid and they're still sitting there. So I don't know, I mean, National Grid is, I think
not-
it's their responsibility to put them up,
Yes.
right?
You mean the lights aren't working?
The poles get knocked down and whatever accidents or this and that, but they're, that
Now
is,
it's our responsibility because we purchased them all. Whatever street they're in.
okay.
It don't
I
matter
thought,
if it's us. The wood still, the
It's
ones that
still
are wood are still their
National Grid.
responsibility, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
Well, if the pole is down, the light fixture that's on it is our responsibility.
yeah, but the poles.
Yeah, the pole would be National Grid, that's
Yeah.
right.
Tom?
Yeah, I just had a it's sort of related. If there's a light that's out and you put a call to get it fixed, will they fix it with a regular bulb or will they change it to LED?
Well, that's a good question.
Good question.
For right now, if it's the old fixture, they probably put
or say, wait.
the regular one in.
Yeah, somebody had a problem, I myself tried to find out tonight.
There's also an email, because I had an issue with something, and David sent me that there's a special email that's now used for lights. For you?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Okay, let me find that, and I'll send it out to everybody, in terms of any issues you might have. Any other questions or issues, et cetera? If not, I guess. We're all set? Good.